Jumani, also known as Jubian Watchner, is always Arsenal. 5 points clear of the second place team in the English Premier League and Arsenal FC. Yes, we continue to sit on the top of the table and it's feeling good. We heading towards the last few games of the season and we are still on top of the table. And the reality is we are on course to win the English Premier League. But of course, we still have to do the job. So let's deal with the Bournemouth game. Of course, we won 3-2. Very entertaining for the neutrals, but very emotional for the Arsenal fans, the Arsenal players, and the Arsenal lovers. Yes, we love our Arsenal regardless. But we started with Ben White on the bench. And Ateta needs to stop doing that. Ben White needs to start once he's fit. Of course, he has to be rotating players and stuff, but Ben White needs to start. To me, Asho is a good replacement, but we're fighting to win the season. Let us start with our best players unless they are too fatigued or they are probably injured. So Ben White was on the bench. So we started with Tomiyasu playing right back, Zinchenko left back, Gabriel and Saliba in the centre back position with Ramsdale in goal in yellow. And once Ramsdale in yellow, is a different Ramsdale. But anyway, we had Xhaka also on the bench. We cannot bench Xhaka. Yes, that's sounding weird coming from an Arsenal fan, but I'm one of the Arsenal fans that never really had a real issue with Xhaka. But I understood that he tended to malfunction a lot. I must say, in the last season and a half, Xhaka is the man in the midfield. So Xhaka needs to start. He didn't start, so we started with Partey and Vieira. Vieira got the edge today, and I think this would have been his second start for the season in the English Premier League, along with Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Trossard. Trossard got injured very early in the game, and what happened even before Trossard's injury, Bournemouth scored on us very early in the game, as extremely early. Within seconds, they scored on us, and apparently they have worked on that, and it worked against us, unfortunately. Went through the game and were trying to pick the lock, and it just wasn't coming. It just wasn't happening for us, and eventually they scored a second goal from a set piece, and we, in the recent history, have been known for being very good against and when we execute set pieces, especially corner kicks. So it was disappointing to concede that goal, which was a good header. But at that point, you started to wonder, wait now, although Bournemouth is fighting relegation, it looking like if this is going to be a tough one for us, and the most we could probably get is a draw. That apparently wasn't the culture within the Arsenal camp, because here's what's going on. Ateta is not just building a strong team. He's not just working with young players. He's not just an inexperienced manager. He and his members of staff are building a culture of believing, a culture of development, a culture of culture. That makes sense? But anyway, we came back with a 2-1 scoreline, courtesy Thomas Partey. Of course, the ball scrambled a bit and bounced around, and he eventually got it over the line. Goal, 2-1 to Arsenal. And from that moment there, it was like a sorry for Bournemouth. And Arsenal kept applying the pressure. Now, of course, chances weren't really working out for us. And part of you were thinking, well, at least me, I was thinking, ways, I wonder if there's one of those days where we would have gotten the chances but didn't really convert the chances, and it's just going to come down to one of our bad days. So it was very concerning, and Ben White came onto the pitch, big up Ben White, Benjamin White, and scored a volley. Yes, a volley, courtesy cross from Reece Nelson, who also came into the game and made immediate impact as a different outlet out on the wing, doing his thing, cutting inside, crossing the ball, getting a few shots, and doing his thing. Of course, Smith Rowe got a chance in the game, but he had to come on for Trossard and come off. Because let's be real, Smith Rowe is not at the best in terms of his form, in terms of his adapting to the new and improved Arsenal. And I don't want to count him out, but what I'm saying is Smith Rowe missed a lot of games, and it would be a little difficult for him to kind of catch back his footing, but I'm not worried about Smith Rowe. I was worried more about Nelson. However, Nelson came with a mission. With that little space of time he got to play, he came onto the pitch because he's in a similar situation where he wasn't really playing much. As a matter of fact, he played just about 64 minutes for the entire season. However, he was given an instruction and he executed, and you saw every time he got the ball, he was playing very purposeful. And he was rewarded. Assisted Ben White with the second goal, and wow, the last minute, well, even beyond the stoppage time, of course, it had a few stoppages inside of stoppage time. So we were able to maximize that stoppage time, and the ball from a corner kick rebound into Reece Nelson on top of the box, and what a finish. I mean, if you look at all the channels, all the pages, all the reviews, all the highlights, I can't say any more about that goal. What I would say though is we are definitely en route for the English Premier League title 2022-2023 season. And we need to manage our anxiety, we need to manage our minutes, and teams need to be mindful that if you score on us, we're going to come back. No, we can't be conceding all those goals. But once you score on us, bet your bottom dollar, Arsenal is coming back, and we're coming back and beat you. Yeah, it had a few games in this season where we went down and of course we lost the game. But if you score on us, we're coming back and beat you from now going forward. As a matter of fact, I think we are number one for coming back this season and winning games. And I obviously don't feel comfortable about it, but I'm telling you, if you're scoring us, we're scoring back on you and we're beating you. So Arsenal FC continues to be on top of the English Premier League. Credit to Arteta. He brought on Smith Rowe. It didn't really work out. He took him off. Brought on Reece Nelson. Brought on Ben White. And credit to the substitutes. Credit to Arteta. Credit to Arsenal. The energy right now. Who's going to stop this voltage? I don't know. We play Sporting in the Europa League on Thursday. And then we face Fulham, who have been playing decent. So we have two tricky encounters this week into the weekend. But watch now. Is always Arsenal.